Okay, so today, the other day I talked to you about the beatific vision, the city of God, and the resurrection of the elect. Today I want to talk to you about how we get there. How do we go to the experience of God? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I shared with you a couple of times we did these missions down at St. Edmunds, and I did the thing on the puzzles. I did the thing on, what was the other thing I did? I did something on, well, whatever I did. But there's another one we did with school. Oh, I did the keys. That's what it was. Today we're going to talk about something else that kind of helps me to get where I'm supposed to be. So we did this thing with stones. And so I went down to Home Depot down on Delaware Avenue, and I got about 40 pounds of landscape stones, little white marble chips and stuff. So all the folks are gathered in church this night, and I says, Father, what are you going to do? I says, well, we're going to talk about what we need to do in our life to get ourselves ready to meet God. And I said, what I want you to do, I said, I want you to all come down. I had all these stones in a couple big pots. They're like half-inch size things. I go down and said, everybody picks up a white marble chip stone. They picked it up, went back to the pew, and I said, now I want you to feel that thing. I said, you feel the rough edges and all that? I said, you and I are created in the image and the likeness of Almighty God with purity and beauty. But you know, sometimes as we start going through life, we get a little rough around the edges. And we become a little bit harsh, a little bit sharp, a little bit careless. And sure enough, perhaps maybe more than we like to, a little more sinful than we need to be in our life. So I shared that with the folks that night. So what I asked them to do the next night was to come back, and I had a number of priests that come to St. Edmunds this night, and I said to them, you know, we're going to do the Sacrament of Reconciliation tonight, or confession. Now I said, you've had that stone for 24 hours. I said, I had asked you to feel it, to put it under your pillow, to carry with you all day, and to think about in your life the things that are not of God and things that are rough and things that don't make the way of the Lord smooth. So tonight we're going to give you the chance to go to the Sacrament of Reconciliation. Have a number of priests here. I said nobody's going to give more than 2 or 3 Hail Marys, so don't worry about any of that stuff. And I'm not asking you no questions. It's none of my business. So we did confessions for about 45 minutes. And then we blessed everybody with the Blessed Sacrament, told them to come home, and to come back the next night, to bring their stone with them. Actually, their stone, before they left the second night, after they left reconciliation, was to be put back in the pot that they took it from the night before. The next night they came back, and I asked them to come up to the front, and what I had done was I replaced all the rough marble chips with smooth pebbled stones with a color in it. Dollar store is great, man. You got loads of those things for $1. So I got a couple hundred of them. So people come down and they pick the new stone up, and I said, I want you to feel that. I said, see how smooth that is? I said, that's what God does to you in the Sacrament of Reconciliation, which is a way to prepare yourself to meet God in eternity. He removes the roughness from your life, and he creates a sense of beauty and color and smoothness, so that you go through life, all the stuff that got you in trouble and all the stuff that wasn't a part of your life, all that stuff is gone. And how do we stay away from it in the future? And sometimes I'll tell people this when they come to reconciliation, especially if they've had some bad habits. And I said, you know, you say your act of contrition, and part of that is the purpose of amendment. It just simply says, I firmly resolve, with the help of your grace, to sin no more and to avoid the near occasions of sin. That's what makes contrition perfect. Do we do it all the time? Probably not. I think we should do it more often than not. So part of that is to say, what have you given up in your life? And what have you received in your life? If you've given up the power and the influence of darkness, and the Lord has absolved you from your weakness or your sinfulness, then make the purpose of amendment and live in the grace of God. It's the best preparation that you and I have, friends, to meet God when I breathe our last. So may the grace of God help us as I share this with you today, to allow the way of the Lord to be the way of my everyday life. If there are things in my life that need to be reconciled or smoothed out, find yourself going to the sacrament of reconciliation and make an earnest purpose of amendment and see the difference that it makes in your life and your journey to God. Have a good day, people. We'll see you tomorrow.